The key to a better future is a better you. If you want to live a better life, then you need to become a better version of yourself. And this was something I learned years ago. I'm still discovering that the more that we put into ourselves, the more that we put into our self-development, our spiritual growth, the more that we invest into ourselves to become a better version of ourselves, the better our life is going to become, the better our results, the better our future. And what we do now is going to help us in the future. It's all connected. And years ago, I realized this. I thought to myself, what do I need to do today? And not only what I need to do today, what do I need to do every day that's going to set me up in 5 years' time? What do I want to become in 5 years' time? And what is required from me now? And you can do a mind map on this. You can go 5-year goal, then you can go 1-year goal. What's required in 1 year to get 5 years? What's required in 6 months to get 1 year? What's required in 3 months to get 6 months? What's required in 1 month to get to 3 months? What's required in 1 week to get that 1 month? What's required in 1 day to get that 1 week? And you can really bring it all the way back. And it starts with what you're doing on a regular basis, your day-to-day habits, what you're consuming, what you're eating, what you're listening to, who you're around, the relationships you have, the environments that you're in, the quality of sleep that you're getting. All of these things impact you, and that means that that's going to impact your future. So again, if you want a better future, you need to create a better you. And by creating a better you, it starts by auditing and becoming aware of certain aspects of your life. And some of those I've already mentioned. What are you eating? What does that version of yourself in 5 years' time, to become that version, what do you need to eat on a day-to-day basis? So your diet. What type of relationships do you need to be around and have? Friendships, right? Romantic relationships, business relationships. What type of relationships do you need to have? Perhaps you need a mentor. Perhaps you need a healer, a coach, a personal trainer. Perhaps you want to design certain people around you that are going to benefit you in a certain way, right? Maybe you need more adventurous people in your life. Maybe you need more fun people in your life if you want to be more of a joyful person. Maybe you need more spiritual people, more connected people in your life, right? Maybe you need that in your life, right? Those types of friendships. So you can really audit and see what type of relationships you require that are going to support you to become the better you in 5 years' time. Another thing is your environment. What type of environment are you living in? Because see, we get so affected by our environment. We get so affected by things that we consume and listen to, but our environment has an effect on us. And we can outgrow our environment. Okay, I've seen the beautiful rose or beautiful plants grow in some of the most difficult conditions. I've seen it. So metaphorically, you can grow in a beautiful, in a difficult environment. You can grow in an environment that's not that supportive. I've done it. I was a needle in the haystack. I was growing in the western suburbs in Victoria. I had no one around me that was supporting me. My environment was not really supportive. The people around me were not very supportive, but I still grew, right? I still grew on my own. And you can. But I realized that we can grow a lot quicker when we're surrounded by a lot more roses and a lot more daisies and a lot more beautiful plants. It's abundance. We're going to grow. It's lush. You look at a rainforest, you go out into one of those beautiful rainforests, those plants aren't struggling. They're growing. There's prosperity. There's abundance in the rainforest. You go out to another national park that's a little bit dry and trees are struggling. They're still growing, but they're not thriving. We want to thrive. So in our environment, we need to be aware, where are we? What types of environments are we in? And you can look at that, right? It's not just where your house is. Where are you going to school? Where are you going to the gym? Where are you going to eat food, eat dinner? Where are you going to have fun? What type of places are you visiting with your friends? So, are you hiking in nature? Are you going to shopping centers, right? What environments are you putting yourselves in? Is it a nightclub? Is it a park? Is it a library? Is it a church? And no judgment, but just become aware. Does that environment support you and your vision in 5 years? Do you see yourself in that environment in 5 years? Is that the better version of yourself in 5 years? And this is what we've got to look at. And so you don't have to change anything in your life. That's on you. You don't have to change nothing. There's no pressure. But if you're happy with the life that you're currently living, then yeah, don't change nothing, because that's going to be your future. So if you don't want to change your future, then don't change anything in the now. Don't change nothing. Nothing at all. Just leave it the way it is, because the way it is going to be the way it's going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, perhaps even for your whole life. That's the reality of it. What you do on a day-to-day basis, where you're around, all the things that you consume, your relationships, what you're eating, is going to become your future. But for some reason, maybe if you do want to make a change, maybe if you're not really happy with where you are, and sometimes it's good to be honest. I think it's great to be honest and go, I'm not really satisfied where I am. I could do some change. I wouldn't mind a different future than what I'm currently living. Then we can make some positive changes, right? Make some changes. So we had environment, okay? We had relationships. We've also got the food we're eating, okay? What type of food are we eating? Is that going to be the version of you in the future? What are we consuming? What type of content? What are we listening to? Are we listening to rap songs? Are we listening to the top 10 hits on the radio? Are we watching Netflix? Are we watching a certain TV show? What are we consuming? What are we listening to? And what we listen to, we're sponges, we consume, we're taking on that. So that's going to also have an impact on our future. Does that future version of you, that better version of yourself, continue to consume those things? See, I used to consume a lot of garbage on television. I used to play video games. Video games are fun. There's a lot of amazing metaphors you can learn from video games. I still use them to this day. But I realized that future version of myself in 5 years' time, do I really want to be playing video games? Do I really want to be watching Netflix 24/7? Do I really want to be eating junk food? Do I want to smoke cigarettes in my future? Is that the version of me that I perceive? Cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, overweight, unhealthy. Is that the version? And I got real with myself. I got honest, real honest. It wasn't. So changes needed to be made, and I did make those changes. I lost 40 kilos in weight. I quit all my drug addictions. I stopped playing video games. I stopped watching shit on TV. I started reading books. Started watching Gaia, which is a spiritual Netflix, for those who don't know. I started to watch YouTube, right? And be very decisive and discerning about what I'm watching, right? I wouldn't just be watching everything. I'd be very picky. So what we consume, we have the power. Like there's a free will, and when you take back your power, which a lot of us don't take back, right? But when we take that power back and go, I want to design my future a certain way. Who do I want to be? Then I can start going, what do I want to consume? I can have that power. And there's certain books that I started to really want to read, right? And I read these books, and these books helped support me to my future. And it's honestly that simple. Like if you want to become better at meditation, you read meditation books. If you want to learn about spirituality, read spirituality. You want to learn about quantum physics, You read quantum physics. This is what I did. I wanted to learn about breath work, so I read books on breath work. Then I did a breath work teacher training, right? So you can do things that can support you and who you want to become in the future. And this is what I did. I surrounded myself with books. I just started listening to audiobooks regularly. If you wanted to improve your area of life in wealth, finances, you can read books on it. If you want to improve your area of your life with sales and marketing, you can read books on it. You can watch things on YouTube. We're in a world where we're in abundance. We can choose to have information and really be supported by it. So what are you consuming? And how do you want that to help you in your future? And what type of habits? So habits is another big thing. You look at that future version of yourself, 5 years' time. What habits does that person have? Are they the habits that you're currently living? And this was the thing that I became aware of, right? What were my habits years ago? And now those habits weren't aligned with that future version of myself. There was no hiking involved. There was no nature. There was no activities of creativity. Okay, there was no healthy activities. The habits that I had, which ties into consumption, were not the best. They were smoking drugs, playing video games, watching television shows, movies, and they were eating a lot of crap food with friends. So they weren't really in alignment with that future that I wanted, with that better future. So we need to look at that, change that. And obviously there we have unconscious attachments to those things, right? We need to shift our vibration. So this is where a lot of inner work, a lot of inner transformation, okay, working with quantum physics, working with healing your past, working on raising your vibrational frequency so that you can actually resonate with that future version of yourself. Or else it's going to be very, very hard to let go of those habits, those addictions, those consumptions, those relationships, that environment, that diet. It's going to be very hard to let all of that go if you don't naturally work on your vibration and increase your vibrational set point and clear all that stuff that's holding you, keeping you attached to those past things. So I reiterate, if you want a better future, you become a better version of yourself. And it's a continual journey. You continue to grow. Who do I want to become in the future? What life do I want to live? And who do I have to become? What version of myself needs to show up to live that better life, to achieve, to have that success, to feel that level of health and abundance, to feel that joy, whatever it may be for you? What version of you is required and what action steps are required today? All right, how can you get your vibration up so that you can let go of those attachments to that old version of you so that you can shift into a new timeline? Because this is what it is, they're timelines, right? And there's multiple different timelines. There's a lot of different timelines. And these timelines exist. They exist in the quantum field. And you can choose which timeline you want to connect to, right? And by making changes in the present moment, you shift into a different vibration and you align to a new timeline, that timeline that you want. So it's all possible. When you start to learn all these things, there's a lot of things that I didn't understand, that I was never taught in school, that I was never really taught by my parents, never taught by any of my elders really. I had to learn these things myself. So now that they're becoming more apparent in the world, and we can learn these things, we can learn the secrets of the laws of the universe, right? We can learn the laws of spirituality, of vibration. We can learn about quantum physics. We can learn about the subconscious. We can learn about our chakras, which, they don't teach you about your energy centers. We can learn about our energy centers, our vibration. We can learn about true health, real health. We can learn about all of this stuff. And when we do, because we have it available to us, but we're just bombarded by distractions. We're bombarded by numbing devices, things that lower our vibration, things that distract us, things that keep us dimmed down like a derper. That's what I was. I was a derper because it was just my environment, all these habits and addictions and consumption, relationships just crumbled and kept me derped. I was like a zombie. So we can pull ourselves out of that. We can. There's information everywhere. There's healthy food available. There's positive relationships. There's beautiful environments. We can get out of that. And sometimes we need support. Sometimes we need to really we need to really transform. And then we do that transformation, we can then step into the light. Step into what we want, step into that future version of ourselves that exists. That version of you does exist, but it's your choice, your free will to tune into that frequency, to align with that version of yourself. Who do you want to be? They both exist. There's different versions. And if you're not happy, be honest. If you're not happy with where you are in your life right now, if you're not happy, if you are, continue doing what you're doing, because that's going to be the future. And if you want a new future, then something has to change. Change is not scary. Change is amazing. And when we change, we step into the unknown, we step into something new, a new version, a new possibility, a new potential. Amazing, right? And this is your choice. You can do it. We can all do it. We all have that ability. It's all possible. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and may you live a better life by becoming a better version of yourself. Peace.